Hello, everybody. My name is Natasha Phipps of Phipps Real Estate Group and with CIR Realty here in Calgary, Alberta. And thank you for joining us today for another Investor Spotlight special edition this week. And I'm joined by a very special friend, client, guest, rock star, Andrea Greening. And yeah, we're going to talk about lots of cool stuff today. So thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So the usual kind of topic of these, I'm sure you've kind of watched these before, is we like to highlight people in our community and learn about, you know, obviously their real estate space, but also kind of just life lessons along the way and be supporting our community and learning from one another. So can you tell us a little bit about you? Because you have a very amazing background, and we met a couple of years back now, but I'd love kind of the audience to learn a little bit about you and your experience and how you got here in life.
Oh, that's a long story.
Yeah.
Well, we met when I was posted here, almost 3 years ago now. I spent just over 25 years in the military, so I moved around a lot. And my husband and I picked Calgary to retire to. And yeah, so I've retired here. I retired last September. And during the final stages of my career and this past year, I've been in acting school. That's what I decided to do for my second career. And also in all that process, I decided that I didn't want to work that hard anymore. I wanted to keep living hard, you know. I wanted to be able to act because I love it, and do all the activities that I love without having to serve my art with a full-time job like I was doing in the military. So I decided to look into real estate. I had always done really well buying and selling homes on all my moves. I think this is my 6th or 7th house now that I just purchased with you and that we just closed on. So I feel safe in the real estate space. I wouldn't call myself an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but that's why I have you in my life.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at.
I love that. So much in our seminars and conferences that we go to, we're all trying to, it doesn't have to be real estate, but using the tools we have in our lives to kind of try to build that life by design, by kind of spending our days doing things that we want to be doing and enjoying our days. So I think it is so inspiring that you just went for it. I mean, I remember when we were shopping for your primary house, you had so many ideas and you were like brainstorming all these kinds of things that you wanted to do and try, and we're now given the opportunity to be able to do that. So, I mean, first of all, thank you for your 25 years of service. Is that what it was? 25?
Yeah, 25 years and 83 days.
Jeez, that's amazing.
I joined when I was 3, obviously.
Yeah, you were obviously a child. You look amazing. So yeah, you've kind of taken control of your life and your days, and I think it's inspiring to see when someone actually does it. You know, like we all talk about it a lot. So thank you so much for sharing, you know, that with us today. But can you tell us a little bit, as we will kind of talk about your play in a minute, but what kind of propelled you to be able to kind of have that kind of guts and courage? Because I'm just going to go for this.
Oh, well, first let's say we don't have any kids, my husband and I. So I think that eliminates like one big challenge where you're like, oh, I have to get these children up and out of my house. You know, my husband and I both enjoy doing the things that we like. We're both very independent, and you know, I was in the military for 25 years, so I'm very familiar with risk management. I have always lived an adventurous life. You know, joining the military was one thing, but I was also on the Canadian skydiving team. I love to travel the world. So taking another step into another adventure, for me, it's just it's a different path, but it doesn't feel any more dangerous than skydiving 3,000 times, you know. It's
terrifying.
So I took an improv class. That's how I got started in acting. And I did that because I wanted to do something that kind of shook me up, something that I found terrifying, much more terrifying than jumping out of an airplane for me, standing on stage and doing improv. But what I learned from that class really was that oftentimes failure is more interesting than perfection, you know? So I tried to incorporate that into my life and help me try new things. And yeah, so I think going down this route with real estate just made sense. It was something that I was kind of familiar with. It felt a little bit risky. So for me, it's exciting too. But also, like you said, like I'm trying to build a life, I'm trying to generate wealth. So it just made sense to me.
Yeah, I love that. Because there's always bumps in the road. There's always failures along the way. Like there is no perfect, there is no way to do anything, risky without these kind of feelings of insecurity or problems. Like there's always going to be come up and problems, and I'm sure you've dealt with 1,000 of them in the last 2 weeks preparing for your upcoming show. But I just love that you're doing it with a smile. You are doing what you love and building that life that we always talk about. So it's nice to kind of see it happening in real time. So thank you for sharing that. Tell us about kind of how you transition now. You went to an improv class and now you are kind of casting and producing your own play. like how did that kind of come to be? And then also we'll talk about the show, obviously.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I took one improv class and I loved it. And then I took another one, and then I took another one. And then when I came back to Canada, I thought, you know what, I'm going to take a serious acting class. And so I went to Company of Rogues Actors Studio in Calgary. And I took a class with Aaron Coates, who is still my mentor now through this business partnership, creating the production company. And it was brilliant. I was really inspired. I met so many great people, and it was just helping me transition through a really difficult time. That I was leaving the military, which it's a huge transition process. One that's often underestimated even by people. They try to tell us how difficult it's going to be before we get out, and then it happens. So it helps me learn to be comfortable with that vulnerability. And then I actually listened to a TED Talk by Adam Driver, who was in Star Wars and a number of other movies. And he was actually a Marine before he became an actor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he talked about the similarities between acting and being a Marine, which you wouldn't think that there would be many, but it's a band of misfits that come together to accomplish a mission. There are all sorts of people, but it's all about teamwork and really having each other's backs.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what, if Adam Driver can do it, I can do it. Yeah. So then I had an opportunity to start school before I transitioned out fully. So I took it, and I've loved every minute of it since.
That's amazing. Awesome. So tell us about this production that's starting tomorrow. Give us the kind of overview of what the show is about and what people can expect. And then we'll obviously plug how they can get involved.
Yeah. So the show is by an Albertan playwright, Vern Thiessen. He's an award-winning playwright. It's a beautiful play about 3 nurses in World War I, which I think is timely for a lot of reasons. I mean, it's Veterans Week this week, and also the story about nurses. They have been sacrificing for over 100 years, and it's a story that we don't often hear about, but right now, my goodness, we need nurses more than ever.
Absolutely.
So the 3 nurses that are showcased in the play were actual real life nurses that served in World War I. So these are ordinary women who went on to do extraordinary, adventurous things, who had their own secrets and lives and dreams, but who ultimately sacrificed their lives during World War I. Oh. And we're showcasing it at the Military Museum for 6 shows starting tomorrow. We're doing it Friday, Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Friday, Saturday again. Veterans and active duty members can see the show for free on November 10th by reserving a ticket. Awesome. And that's the show. We're really excited. For me, it's near and dear to my heart because it's bringing the 2 worlds together. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's been a process. It's been a really nice process to explore that as an actor.
Absolutely. Bringing so much to the table, very timely for multiple reasons, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't wait to see it. We're absolutely going to come support you. Probably several times we'll be there.
Thank you.
Please go get your tickets, guys. We'll put a link in the comments below to be able to go reserve your tickets. It's at the Military Museums here in Calgary, Alberta. And yeah,
which is a wonderful place to visit.
Oh, it is.
Full free parking. They have events for Indigenous Veterans Day on November 8th and then Remembrance Day on November 11th as well. So check them out.
Yes, we love going there with the kids. There's so many stories to tell and things to learn and so many discussions to be had. So I think it's really important to be obviously supporting that venue as well as your show. They do an incredible job there too. So can't wait to see it. Thank you for jumping on with me. I know we kind of crammed this in and you probably have so much to do, so I will let you go, but I can't wait to see it. Thank you so much for your service and all your hard work. And of course, being an amazing client and friend as well. So can't wait to see it, and we'll talk to you very soon.
Thank you so much, Natasha.